Do you have anything that you'd like to say, Mr.
Yes,
Jones?
yes, Your Honor. Should I stand?
Please.
Your Honor, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm just a regular guy. I am not a flight risk. And this is my first alleged offense. And the prosecution has not presented one single piece of evidence against me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, people of the jury of social media, the People's Court. This is when the Tecumseh Police in Tecumseh, Michigan, 49286, tried to frame me on a PPO violation. Sergeant Greg Walsh, and I'm going to do my best. I'm not perfect at this stuff. I'm going to do my best to show you what they did. Okay, so this is the date that he did the report. The occurrence date is 2/9/2022 at 16:20 hours, 4:20. Like I said, I was under pretty good surveillance. Whenever I went for a walk with my dogs, plural, 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs. Now I have 3, but I had 2 dogs when I lived in Tecumseh. I was under surveillance. We'll just say that. So here's a report by Sergeant Greg Walsh. There's page 1. Here's page 2. It's me. Obstruction of justice. Obstructing justice. It was a contempt of court. Obstructing justice. Victim was neighbor. All my old phone number, so it's no big deal. You can call it if you want. See who answers. Hairstyle is wavy. Here is page 3 of the report. Information. In January 2022, I took a complaint where Stephen Croswick was stalking Maritza Martinez, TPD 22-47. An arrest warrant was ultimately issued on that complaint. Additionally, Martinez applied for and was granted a PPO protecting her from Stephen Croswick that was served. On 2/9/2022, I was informed Stephen Croswick was arrested on 2/8/2022. He was informed that I was arrested in this little tiny police department where him and Sergeant Wright were doing their best to get me and muster up bullshit charges. He was informed that I was arrested on 2/8 on my way to district court for the arrest that he made on, I think, 1/18 for the aforementioned case. He was to appear at TPD sometime during day for fingerprints on 2/9/2022. I was at the station when he appeared around 13:45. That'd be 1:45. He was instructed by Officer Williams. I believe Officer Williams was a fairly new officer, a real young guy. He could not bring recording devices into the department during fingerprinting. At first, he refused to enter. I did, because I was like, I can't record me getting fingerprinted? And they said no. The non-public area of the PD expressed having great reason to not trust the Tecumseh Police Department. Officer Williams assured Croswick that his, Williams, body camera would be recording. Okay, he did show me it was on, and I said, okay, I guess. Let's go. Croswick was reluctant but agreed to enter the police department to be fingerprinted. Having prior experience with Croswick and his behavior, I suspected he'd instigate some sort of a situation later in the day. I checked Martinez's residence and another city residence who has a PPO on Croswick. That being my ex-wife. They both filed up for PPOs on the same day. Both are associated with family law attorney Michael Brooks, with everything appearing to be okay. Later in the day, while on random patrol on 2-9 around 1634, I noticed Croswick walking his dogs, plural, 2 dogs, 2 blocks away and towards Martinez's residence. I was able to identify him as I could clearly see his face and stature when he turned to me with a large smile. Specifically, Croswick was westbound in the 100 block of West Kilbuck, west of South Evans Street. Martinez's house, which has a physical address of blank West Kilbuck Street, is at the corner of Kilbuck and South Main Lane. It appears he was going to cross in front of her house. I drove around the direct area to attempt to see Croswick's route. At 1638, and mind you, Tecumseh is a little town where the cops really don't have all that much to do except, chase stray dogs and sit around and BS, and there's not a lot going on in Little Tecumseh. At 1638, Croswick was northbound in the 200 block of South Maiden Lane. It was apparent he'd walked directly in front of her residence. However, I was not witness to that. Based on his arrest and the probable PPO violation, I contacted Martinez and advised her of the arrest and his dog walking route. Martinez checked her security camera to see if it picked up Croswick walking his dog, 2 dogs, in front of the house. Martinez forwarded me video of Croswick walking in front of her house eastbound in the 200 block of West Kilbuck at about 1620 hours, so 4:20. There is no recording of Croswick's return home at 1638 hours, as the camera records larger items such a vehicle movement or people at a very near the camera. While interviewing Martinez, she stated her neighbor, Mike, probably has video of Croswick. She called neighbor Mike Bloomfield on speaker, so I was able to participate in the conversation. It's weird how he wrote that because they did call this Mike guy, and no, Mike didn't have video either. He advised Croswick walked past his house at 1621. How would Mike know who or what I look like or anything if they just had a phone conversation and this guy's, oh yeah, he walked in front of my house? How would he even know who I am? I don't know Mike. He knew the time because he called someone right after he passed by. He said Croswick mumbled something about not being happy that his, Bloomfield's dog, was unleashed in the front yard. He advised Croswick walked east in the direction at 1621 time in front of his house located at blank West Kilbuck, which is a couple houses away from Martinez's. He said he saw Croswick walk his dogs, plural, past his house later westbound and continued in front of Martinez's house. This was likely the time I saw him at 1638. So 438. It should be noted, Croswick can easily travel east and or west by leaving his house north to Potawatomi. Both Potawatomi Street and Kilbuck, where the victim lives, are almost identical in traffic volume and traffic devices. It appears Croswick is intentionally appearing in front of Martinez's residence in an attempt to intimidate, annoy, frighten, molest, or otherwise harass her and her family. Martinez further. I continued with Martinez after the phone call with Bloomfield. She advised Monday, 2/7 of 22, she had to appear in court as Croswick was contesting the PPO against him, which I was. It was a bogus, made up, fabricated lie of, crap. Pile of crap. She advised her case was combined with another woman's case who also had a PPO against Croswick. The other woman was my ex-wife. Both of these women are associated with Mike Brooks, who I was investigating. She met the woman who advised she was once married to Croswick, attorney Michael Brooks, whom Martinez knew and said she was best friends with, was advising the former wife of Croswick. And also, the next door neighbor, Barry Peirce, is also represented, or was, I don't know if he still is, by Michael J. Brooks, who's also former city attorney for the city of Tecumseh 49286. So it all kind of ties up in together, you'll see. Martinez advised the judge heard Croswick's argument and ruled the PPOs were to remain in effect. I was represented by an attorney out of Jackson, Michigan, Mark Linton, Ghost Law, and he was a ghost because we had video to present and he didn't even bring it up really in the argument in the PPO to detect, to try and squash the PPO, the motion to terminate the PPO. I had the same video and he didn't even bring it up. Tuesday morning, 2/8/2022, Martinez was out for her morning run. And this is all BS. She observed Croswick's truck parked directly in front of Brooks's private residence. Okay, notice there's no time here. On 2/8 is when I was on my way to court and I was arrested. So when did this take place? This is all more made up bullcrap. It should be noted Brooks was the complainant on a telephone harassment from one call to his secretary. And he called the cops. Mike Brooks is not only an asshole, he's a pussy. We'll say that. Sorry. I usually don't get that vulgar, but so here we go. We'll start with, here we go. Now, it's going to be, okay. Now, okay, there's the time, 16:20 on 2/9/2022. And you'll see a figure that's hiding right here behind this pole. And this is who they were saying was me. There's walking a dog. Pretty big dog. Pretty tall guy. One dog. So can I bring that back? I mean, it's hard to even see this dude, but I think I've seen him another time on my Ring camera before this. So that's what she forwarded to Sergeant Gregory Walsh. Okay, now this is me on that day, and let me see. Let me go back. Come on. Oh, will it let me? Oh, I gotta go like this. My bad. So that was who they said it was. This is me. This is me. This is me leaving my house at 16:06. Sorry about the loud noise. That's my doggy Hudson. This is what I was wearing that day. I got a white t-shirt poking out, tan shoes, and a green hat. And there goes my dog. And I'm headed north on Maiden Lane. Okay, so I go for my walk, and okay, I found it. Here is me coming back from my walk. Two dogs. You see what I'm wearing? It was pretty cold out. Put my hood up. If you notice, I have a poo-poo bag in my hand. Right there. Because I'm a responsible dog owner. Oh, my bad. And I walk into my driveway. Oops, shoot, I keep hitting stuff, sorry. I walk into my driveway to go put the poo-poo bag away. Here I come back from putting the poo-poo bag away. Oh, again, I got a big S on my hat for Spartans. And what's the time here? 16:34, where Sergeant Walsh Wright states in his report that it was 16:38 when he saw me. And I think I have a video when I actually went in my house. Oh, and from all the harassment, I would wear a, oops, okay. I'd wear a body camera. It's on my belt right there. Let's see if I can see. You know, I got to where I was recording everything because they were constantly doing crap. So, but yeah, in another video, I will present the PPO violation hearing we had to go through in Judge Ancelone's court, and show that. Can I make them bigger? Like that, but then I can't move it. All right. So yeah, that's when they tried to frame me for a PPO violation. That's what they're doing when they should be doing real stuff. They're trying to frame law-abiding citizens, cops shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. You know?
Under these circumstances, unless the state has obtained some new piece of information relating to my involvement in the matter in question, then I find it highly prejudicial, even constitutionally offensive, to keep me detained without bail. It's a slippery slope, Your Honor. Haven't we seen the result of such violations both internationally and domestically? Case in point would be Dave v. McDonough, docket number 041325.
I am actually inclined to agree with you, Mr. Schultz.
I love that movie. Law-abiding citizen, Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler from 2009. If you haven't ever watched it, pretty damn good movie, Law-abiding citizen. All right, y'all. I'll be back at some point with the PPO violation hearing we had in Judge Anzalone's court. I'm not sure how I'm going to disseminate that, if I'm going to just read through the transcript or try and animate it somehow. That would be kind of cool. But yeah. So more crap from the Tecumseh PD when I lived there. Thank you. Have a good night. It's Sunday, December 22nd. Getting close to that Merry Christmas. Have a good night. Be safe. Peace out, baby.